Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really good story for you. And yeah, while we go through it, I have some grammar quiz questions, and meanings of a few harder words, and also some easy phrases you can actually use in daily life. Alright, let's just get into it. Ilara woke up to the sound of her alarm clock. It said, "Hi. It's a nice day today." But when Ilara opened curtains, it was raining outside. The sky was gray, and water ran down the glass. She sighed. She said, "That is not true." The button said, "Sleep more to feel fresh." But Ilara knew it would only give her 5 minutes, and she would still feel tired. Nothing ever worked the way it was promised. Viridia was a strange city. People didn't expect the truth anymore. Every sign, every ad, every news story, everything was made up. People did not lie to hurt others. They said what felt right at the time and everyone accepted it happily. When Ilara walked into the kitchen, she took out a box of cereal from cupboard. On the box it said, "Made with 100% real fresh fruit." But when she poured it into her bowl, the cereal was just bright-colored rings. There wasn't a single piece of fruit. The milk carton said, "Fresh from happy cows." But Ilara had never seen a cow in her whole life. No one really knew where the milk came from, but no one asked. She got ready for work. Her sweater's label promised everlasting comfort. Her clothes looked old. Her shoes said, "Very good for feet." Yet they always gave her blisters and pain. But Ilara said nothing. In Viridia, these kinds of lies were normal. People smiled and accepted them, because that's how life worked. Let's take a short break and learn some English from story. Choose the correct verb form. Ilara got up to the sound of her alarm clock. A. Wake. B. Wakes. C. Woke. Which sentence is correct? A. She didn't know where the milk came from. B. She didn't know where the milk came from. C. She doesn't know where the milk came from. Find the adjective in this sentence. Her eyes were puffy, and her hair was messy. A. Eyes. B. Hair. Puffy. Now, time for the answers. Ilara up to the sound of her alarm clock. Correct answer, C. Woke. Woke is the past tense of wake. The story is in the past, so we need woke. Which sentence is correct? Correct answer, B. She didn't know where the milk came from. After didn't, we always use the base form of the verb, not knew, just know. Find the adjective in this sentence. Her eyes were puffy, and her hair was messy. Correct answer, D. Puffy. Puffy describes how her eyes looked, so it's an adjective. Well done. Let's get back to the story and see what happens next. Ilara worked at the city's main library. She liked books, but the stories were not the same. She waited for the bus. "Your bus is coming soon," the voice said. "Thank you for your patience." Ilara looked at her watch. The bus had been 2 minutes away for almost 15 minutes. People near her looked fine. They were used to it. When the bus finally came, she stepped in. The outside of the bus had a big ad that said, "Drink Vitasap. Brighter mood, brighter blood." Ilara had tried it once. It tasted very bad and their ingredients were not good for health. At the library, a young boy walked up to her with a book in his hands. "Miss Ilara," he asked, "do you have real stories?" Ilara gave him a warm smile and handed him a book called The Adventures of the Flying Teapot and the Moon-Eating Dragon. All stories here are real, the woman said. The boy nodded happily and ran off to read. In Viridia, even fiction, imaginary stories, was considered truth if someone said it was. During lunch, Ilara bought a fresh kale and quinoa bowl from a food cart. The vendor smiled and said, "Very good food, picked today." The kale was soggy, and the quinoa was sticky. But Ilara just ate it. That's how things worked in her city. She checked the news on her wrist tablet. One headline read, "Scientists say Earth is getting colder." Right below it, another said, "Glaciers melting fast. Sea levels rising." Only one can be real, but no one seemed to care. Later, she met her friend Leo for coffee. "You look good today," he said with a big smile. She knew she looked tired. Her eyes were puffy, and her hair was messy. But she smiled back. "You are a good man," she said. They both laughed. It was a friendly lie, the kind that made people feel close. As Ilara walked home, she passed by a glowing sign over her building. Her apartment was small and old. But the sign still made her feel a little proud, even if it wasn't true. She sat on her couch and turned on the infonet. A documentary was playing. It showed how people had moved to Mars in the year 2150, using giant advanced metal rockets. Ilara watched quietly. She didn't think it was true, but that wasn't the point. In Viridia, stories don't need to be real. They just needed to sound good. Later that night, Ilara lay in bed. Outside, the city lights blinked. She heard a loud sound. Maybe something was wrong, or maybe it was just a test. No one ever knew. In Viridia, she didn't know what was real. The only truth Ilara could count on was that everything around her was a story, and stories changed all the time. But deep inside, Ilara still noticed things. She still remembered what was real. And in a world full of beautiful lies, she knew the truth, and that made her special. It didn't fix anything. But it helped her every day. Let me now give you 10 real phrases from your story, with their simple meanings. These will be useful for daily English too. Hi. It's a nice day today. Meaning, the day is good. Sleep more to feel fresh. Meaning, sleep more to feel better. Made with 100% real fresh fruit. Meaning, this food has real fruit. Everlasting comfort. Meaning, very comfortable forever. Your bus is coming soon. Simple meaning, the bus will arrive shortly. Brighter mood, brighter blood. Meaning, makes you happy and healthy. All stories here are real. Meaning, every book is true. Very good food, picked today. Meaning, the food is fresh and healthy. You look good today. Meaning, you look nice today. Hoped you liked the story? Which of the phrases and words did you learn today? Drop in the comments and let me know, and please like, share and subscribe to my channel for more best stories. See you next time. Bye.